Trying a face mask.
Yep, and me too.
So, working on a project. Always working on a project. This is gonna be kind of like a weird, like, memo vlog, I guess you could call it. I have to get my wax out so I can wax my eyebrows because they're driving me insane, thanks to my Italian heritage. Post in the comment section below if you've ever tried that, like, Ancestry.com or, like, whatever that other one is that, like, checks your DNA and gives you, like, results from your ancestry, because I feel like it'd be a waste of money. I don't feel like it's worth $50, but if I came across an extra $50 and it would be interesting enough to my audience, maybe I would do it. Might be interesting, but let me know if you ever have, or if you thought about it, or if you think it's worth the investment. If you did it and you don't think it's worth the investment, you know, whatever, comment below. Other than that, just got a lot of this and that to do. Always have a lot of this and that to do. I've kind of been slacking on my action list. Got new ink because my printer went straight from you're running low on black to we're not even going to work now because you don't have enough. So I had to get new ink, and that bugged me for 2 days. Oh my gosh, it was surprisingly rough. But in any case, doing a lot of work mentally to remind myself that projects are worth pursuing, and that you need to keep trying everything to get there. I have a dress that I ordered like 2 weeks ago that's supposed to be in the mail today, which I'm super excited about, and I really hope that it fits. Been feeling kind of down about not putting more effort into my workout regimen. For the first time in forever, I set my morning alarms because my fiance has been getting up and going to the gym on a regular basis recently, but he gets really bad, like, acid reflux now, and we had wings last night, so he did not go to the gym this morning. So even though my alarm woke me up and I would have probably stayed up when my alarms went off, I didn't because he was in bed still and I like snuggling. But that's still just an excuse. It's just interesting timing, I guess. The groundhogs are actually discouraged by the mint-scented trash bags that are supposed to repel rodents. So that's a plus. However, the mint-smelling trash bags are annoying. I do not like flipping open a new trash bag and being like overwhelmed with the smell of eucalyptus and mint. It's not pleasant, but if it keeps them out of my trash, I'm all for it. They're still alive. They're getting a little frisky. They're coming up onto the deck and chasing after the kids, kind of, sort of, a little bit, so we still got to try to kill them. But there's that. I've been slacking really bad on putting videos out there, so even though this is more like a memo vlog and it's probably not as interesting as vlogs past, it is necessary because I have been failing miserably at posting, and I was almost caught up, and now I'm not. So there's been a few big, like, changes and happenings in my personal life that have had me really super duper stressed and like preoccupied and distracted. I'm working on kind of putting those out of my mind and focusing that energy on something useful, because I feel like focusing on those things is a waste of time. But that's a daily struggle, especially for someone who suffers with anxiety. It is far easier to focus on the things that are stressful than it is to focus on the things that are positive. But not that that's not the case with people who don't suffer from anxiety, but just that anxiety has this uncanny way of refocusing itself in lieu of attempts to focus on other things. So, working on it, doing a lot of working on it. Trying to stay organized. I'm failing, although I've always kind of sort of failed at being organized. Yeah, just pressing it forward. Sometimes that's what's important. Got into heated arguments over the whole Ariel thing, and I know that's kind of controversial to pop up with, and I wasn't going to share my views on it on YouTube, and I'm probably not gonna dive into it because I've had a lot of time to think and argue with people about it, and it really all boils down to the fact that, like, it is what it is. The movie's been cast, and that's just how it's gonna be. It doesn't matter if you sign petitions. It doesn't matter if you voice your opinion on it. At this point, it is what it is, because, I mean, realistically, they can't recast the character of Ariel and not make it the actual issue that that people are saying it's an issue because of. So I think people need to calm down and realize that it's not just an everyday story. It's Disney princesses that have existed forever, that kids for decades have looked up to and admired, and I know it sounds silly at 32 to say this, but Ariel was one of my favorite Disney princesses. So I guess it's disappointing to me as an adult that one of my favorite Disney princesses and one of my favorite movies is going to be made into a live action that's not going to represent what I grew up with. But it was said very well by somebody that my fiance knows, who said, you know, like, one of the arguments they said is that it's a folk tale, it's a fake story, so changing things about it isn't necessarily creating an inaccuracy. And he said, you know, I really hope I don't have to explain to my kids that they're fake stories, because that would ruin that for them. And it would. You can't be like, oh, well, Ariel looks different. Ariel's not the traditional Ariel because it's a fake story. Like, we know that. It's a cartoon, for criminy sake. It's mermaids. And to an extent, kids know that they're not real, but the story is real. Like, the fact that it's a mermaid or whatever, that part of the story, that's not. But the fact that the story in itself is a real thing to kids for generations, that's a real thing. That's an important thing. It's just an important thing. I feel like Disney's done very well staying diversified as far as their stories go. They've branched into and have a Disney princess that continue to make Disney princesses that are relatable to everyone. And I just feel like the story of Ariel had a relatability, had an established identity, and it's just not staying true to that. And when you're talking about making a live action version of a classic movie, it should stay traditional to the original. It just should. It's just not traditional, that's it. I don't have anything against the actress. I don't have anything against the culture aspect of the choice. And I'm sure that she did embody the part the way that they wanted her to, but I look at it like, you know, why even have casting calls for things then? Like, I've never wanted to be an actor or an actress, but I'm pretty sure that people have both had their hearts broken and their dreams come true by responding to a casting call for a particular part that required like 100 people to look who look the exact same and who can act really well, all have to bid for a particular role. And why have a room full of 100 people who look the exact same specifically because they need to fit a particular part, and then just go completely away from that? I don't know. I think that it's not about whether or not this is a great opportunity for that particular actress, and it's not a fight about whether or not that actress is perfect for the part as far as their credentials goes and their talent. I just feel like that it should have been cast traditionally. Because it just won't be Ariel. It just won't. And I don't care what your argument is on it, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it wouldn't be Ariel. It'd be like casting Mulan as someone other than Asian. I mean, that story is completely grounded in Asian culture. Same goes for Brave with Merida. If that wasn't Celtic, why even practice accents so that you can represent a particular culture? Does that matter? It's not a role that can be universally replaced. It's a role that should have been traditionally kept, is all. Why try so hard to find somebody like Emma Watson who perfectly embodies a European romantic role in Beauty and the Beast, if you weren't trying to find someone who perfectly or most perfectly embodied that particular character? I don't know. I feel like people don't understand it. I don't feel like it's people who hate it as much as it is that people just don't understand why you'd make a live action and not stick to the traditional parts of what you're recreating, is all. I got lots more to say, but I'm not going to dive into it because, like I said, I don't want to be controversial. It's just, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change. They're not going to recast Ariel. Ariel is who she is now, and I hope that actress has a fun time playing it, and I sincerely hope that the project in itself goes well, and the release goes well, and the movie goes well, and the sting fades. But I guess we'll see. And if it flops for those reasons, then I guess that's a lesson Disney's gonna have to learn the hard way that they really haven't had to deal with as of yet in the remakes of original Disney stories, live action. So I wasn't a big fan of Cinderella's live action anyway, and I'm pretty sure Cinderella was like their first live action. I mean, they're making a second Maleficent, for goodness sakes. Kept those characters true. Because, you know, fair blonde Aurora. They kept true to that character. They've done so many live actions now where they've done so well at staying true to the traditional characters that I think this is just kind of one of those huge things, like, I don't know, it's just not, it's not going to be as accurate as their other live actions, and people are going to be paying a lot more attention to what other Disney stories haven't been made into live action yet that could or might, and people are going to be very much aware of how the castings for those go in the future. We'll see, I guess. It's gonna be, it's not the easy route. They took a very difficult route here that just has a lot of, it opens a lot of questionable doors moving forward with other live actions and expectations. I think that Disney might forget that they're not just a golden thumb. Not everything they create is gold, and they're getting a dose of reality when it comes to having responsibility to their audiences beyond what they apparently think they do. So we'll see. In any case, I'm gonna go do things that are productive and maybe catch up and record again later.
When did he call her? Did he send up a flare? Please, trust me, not like here. You know? Doesn't even matter anymore. Where is he? You don't. We're having a little chat after. He's having trouble breathing because of his ribs. He got 5 stitches over his eye.
What?
You're a lunatic.
You didn't know he was taping you?
Because he didn't.
Oh, come on, Veronica. Who else would have or could have done that?
Here's what I know. It wasn't his, and it could not be less of your business.
Aren't we trying to be friends? As your friend, I was angry at what happened to you. Someone's always supposed to pay, right? Isn't that the rule we live by?
We tried to be friends, and it didn't work. This is the moment, Logan. Right now. Where it's just done. You're out of my life.
I'm gonna stand side and wait for you because some parts are still. You got all of it off.
It came off in one go.
Most people don't know.
Ah!
I did some checking. Derek's on probation for stealing cars. Press charges. Looks like it needs to
Hold on, bugger. What is it? What is it?
What do you say we head out?
Is it yummy?
It's one of those trick questions, isn't it? We got some new IDs for you. Wallace. This picture is shot by Joey. Iggy Smalls? Double print? Now let's go out.
Is it yummy?
Alcohol and beer. No pain. Park. Wait. This. Plus, people go from Ryan, it's usually one of those cool first time we met stories. What about it is cool? No problem, man. Nobody heard enjoy.
Is it yummy?
Yeah, like the empties is gonna cost you something. All right. To all you finest minds of SoCal.
It's a snack.
Yeah? Now, wait for